AI is the best business decision you ever made. It is also the reason your income has not moved in 6 months. You adopted it early. You optimized your prompts. You automated your outreach, your content, your proposals. You did everything the productivity playbooks told you to do, and the bank account says otherwise. The work moves faster. The revenue does not follow. You look at competitors who still do everything manually and wonder why they are still charging the rates you used to command. You are producing more than you ever have. Your take-home is flat or lower. That is not a problem with your execution. That is a mechanism. Once you understand it, everything about how you are selling yourself will look completely different. Call it the capacity trap. You assumed AI was a multiplier. You were right, just not about what it multiplies. The freelancer community ran this experiment in real time. Writers who adopted AI first, the ones generating 5 articles in the time it used to take to write one, watched their hourly rates fall, not because clients noticed the AI, but because the market recalibrated what the work was worth. A peer-reviewed study in Organization Science tracked freelancers across all skill levels after AI releases hit the market. The finding that surprised everyone: top performers took the biggest hit. For every 1% increase in a freelancer's past earnings, they faced an additional 1.7% monthly income drop following new AI releases. The better you were before AI, the harder it is hitting you now. The assumption is that when you produce more, you earn more. But in a market where everyone can produce more, output stops being the premium. You can double your deliverables and your income stays flat because the client's benchmark just shifted underneath you. The rate you used to charge for 2 days of focused work is now the rate for an afternoon of prompting. They do not say it out loud. They just negotiate harder, accept less, and quietly move to someone cheaper when you push back. Picture what that actually looks like. You open your inbox on a Tuesday morning. A client who has worked with you for 2 years sends a message asking if you can do anything on price. You haven't changed your rate. You haven't lowered your quality. The thing you used to uniquely provide just became available for $20 a month. Here is what the top freelancers figured out too late. Your value was never your skill. It was the scarcity of your skill. When you could write copy that converted, that ability was rare. When you could build a workflow that saved a client 12 hours a week, that was rare. When you could produce a video that held attention past the first 30 seconds, that was rare. Rare things command premium prices. AI did not take your skill. It took the scarcity. The moment any client with a monthly subscription can produce a good enough version of what you used to sell, the market stops paying the premium for yours. Not because your version is worse, because worse for less just became available at scale. A freelancer earning $50 an hour who faces 30% AI-driven rate pressure drops to $35. On a 20% platform commission, take-home falls to $28 an hour, a 44% income reduction, without a single bad review, without a single client complaint. Just the quiet, steady repricing of a skill that used to be scarce. And here's what makes it worse. Every efficiency gain you made using AI accelerated this. The faster you produced deliverables, the faster the market adjusted its expectations of what the work should cost. You optimized your way into a race you didn't enter intentionally. The artifact you produced became the commodity. Your judgment, the thing that decided what the artifact should be, stayed scarce. The market just can't see it yet. The fix is not what you think it is. The fix is not to stop using AI. The fix is to stop selling what AI can replicate. Most solopreneurs built their income around a deliverable, a script, a design, a piece of code, a campaign. The deliverable was the product. What the market is now telling you is that deliverables are not the product anymore. Your judgment is the product. Your pattern recognition across dozens of client engagements is the product. Your ability to walk into a situation and immediately identify what is actually broken, not what the client thinks is broken. That is the product. AI can produce the artifact. It cannot produce the diagnosis. The solopreneurs who are holding their rates right now are not selling deliverables faster. They are selling access to a specific frame, a way of reading a problem that the client cannot replicate with a prompt. The deliverable becomes proof of the frame, not the frame itself. When you make that shift, the rate conversation changes entirely. Clients stop comparing your price to a subscription fee. They start comparing it to the cost of making the wrong call without you. One of those comparisons is a race to the bottom. The other is a business built around something AI cannot touch. Stop leading with output. Lead with the diagnosis. Start with your last 5 client engagements. For each one, write down the moment where your judgment changed the outcome. Not your execution, your judgment. The moment you saw something the client missed. The moment you redirected a brief because you knew where it was going wrong. The moment you pushed back on the initial direction and turned out to be right. That moment is your actual product. Now ask, is that moment visible in how you sell? Is it in your proposals? Is it in how you describe what you do before someone hires you? If the answer is no, the client can't buy it. They buy the deliverable by default, because that's all they can see. Instead of saying you write email sequences, lead with, you identify where conversion is breaking and rebuild the sequence around that specific failure point. Instead of saying you design landing pages, lead with, you find the one objection killing the page and restructure around removing it.
The work might look identical. The sale is completely different. One is a commodity with a market rate. One is a service only you can deliver because it requires your specific accumulated pattern recognition, your specific read of what actually moves people to act. Use AI to produce the artifact faster. Make the diagnosis the reason they hired you. Every engagement you have had this year had at least one moment where your judgment mattered more than your output. That moment is where your rate should live.
AI will not kill your business. Selling what AI can replicate will. The market does not punish AI adoption. It punishes the decision to let AI replace your judgment instead of amplify it. Every solopreneur who is earning more this year than last did not find a better tool. They found one thing their clients cannot get from a prompt, and they made that the center of every conversation. That is the only moat that holds right now. Not a faster pipeline, not a better prompt library, a perspective the market cannot buy from anyone else, because no one else has your specific history of being right when it mattered. If you are not sure what yours is, if you have been running the pipeline but skipping the diagnosis, the Solo Operator Revenue Audit walks you through exactly that. It identifies where your specific pattern recognition lives in your current work and how to reposition around it instead of around deliverables the market is pricing down. $19 in the description, 45 minutes. In your last invoice, how much was for execution AI could replicate, and how much was for judgment it cannot?